Hi guys, it's Kristi. Welcome back. Take two. Just did about 5 minutes talking to myself with no one listening. No record button. Anyway, continuing on with our Christmas and July theme. This is something I'm looking at putting together for my Christmas boutique. Not everything that's in the Christmas boutique is going to be Christmas themed. I may make a couple if I have any extra papers. This uses like 3 12 by 12s. I think that's what I cut into, which, you know, it's a good stash buster. But these are refillable notepad holders, booklets, folders, if you will. So I was talking about the pins when I realized I wasn't recording. So these are Pentel RSVP pins. I buy them in a pack of 5. They're not too expensive, but they come with a clear barrel so that you can put paper in there and make it coordinate with your project, which is nice. And the size of this paper that I put in here, I would go with 3/4 to an inch by 3.5, and then use something like a skinny paintbrush or a shish kebab skewer or something like that, that you can wrap the paper around and kind of roll it back and forth until it gets the shape that you want. And then I rolled it up. You could even use this. This has it comes apart, and this is small enough that you can wrap this around your paper and roll it back and forth, and then leave it wrapped on there and put it in there, pull this out, and you're going to have to tap at the end. But then when you get everybody's coming in here, hang on a second, I need to close the door. Okay, so back to this. You're going to need a couple of pieces of chipboard. Now, I did not use the same chipboard. These are off 2 different paper pads. I think these are off like the green bar paper, ledger paper, but this one has a smaller thickness than this one does, so I don't care. I'm going to use this one for the front, this one for the back, the sturdier one for the back. You need these two are cut 5.5 by 8.5, and then this is, and I got these at Walmart, not very expensive. I want to say $2.78 for 3 pads. So these are 5 by 8 notepads, and those are going to go in here. And then I've cut various pieces. Let me see if I can go over. And I told you the size of the paper, 1 inch by 3.5. You are going to need a piece of canvas or fabric. I cut a piece of canvas. I'm going to actually use the not white side because I like this side better. This is going to be our spine. It's going to be a little bit flexible, so that's going to be fun. She used sticky back, but I didn't have it, so I'm using this. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 6 by 10. This is for the covers, and I actually cut the wrong piece because I had the 2 pieces that were really similar. I was going to use the larger one for the cover, and I did it backwards, but I don't think it matters. So these are going to be my covers, 6 by 10. We're going to wrap around, and I'll show you that in a minute. This is going to be the piece that goes here, that is attached to the right hand side, that actually holds the paper pad in the book. It will also allow you to pull it out and replace it when need be. So this measures 4 by 8. We're going to call this a sleeve, and I've used my large pattern for this, and this. So this one's 4 by 8. This one was a 5 by 5 square cut diagonally. That's going to be a pocket. And then this is going to be the piece that we decorate the pad of paper with, like such, and wrap around. Okay, so this one measures 2 by, I have it written over here, 2 by 5. Okay, so 4 by 8, 5 by 5 cut diagonally, and a 2 by 5. And then this is going to be the inside lining piece. I've got some erasers on here. After we get this all put together, then we'll know what size to cut this. Right now it is cut to 8 1/4 because I'm going to want about 1/8 of an inch top and bottom. And after we get the cover on and have everything laid out, we'll trim this down. I'll probably end up trimming about 3/8 to 1/2 an inch off of this end, but I don't want to cut too much and then have it too wide and not look right. So that's what we're going to do with that. So that's the lining. These are the covers along with the canvas. You know, if you're using a digital kit for this, you could totally print something on the printable canvas that coordinates, which would be cool. And the pad of paper, 4x8, and there again I'm going to say large pattern. This is large pattern and my covers are small pattern. So 3 pieces of paper, 1, 2, 3 of 12x12s, and then of course the chipboard and the canvas. So let's get started. Oh, also I've mentioned she is grosgrain ribbon, but I'm going to be using these little pieces of crochet trim from Dollar Tree to hold my pen. One piece will be on the front, one piece will be on the back, and then the pen will go inside like that, and that will keep the book closed. And then I have 2 pieces that are 1x12, which we'll be using for trim after we get the covers on to make sure everything lines up properly and is straight. This will be our fix if it's not, or it'll just be decorative. Okay, and then what else? Oh, and then I have some extra here just for decorating pockets or whatever. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is take our 2 pieces that are 6x10. Now, if you have a directional pattern, you want to go ahead and pay attention to that. But the way we're going to cover these is, and I'll mark these on here. This is going to be the front cover. This is going to be inside front. And the way I'm doing it with the overall pattern, it doesn't really matter, but at least you'll be able to tell how each thing is going. So inside back and back cover. I'm just going to write back. Alright, so we want these to be attached like this on the front, and I'm going to line up this inside like that. Okay, this is going to be the same. I want this to be on this front like that. Okay, because this is the inside, and when we close the cover, it'll look like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, oh gosh, you know what I should have done? Oh, hey, it's a surprise. I was going to say I should have checked my glue. It's been at least 2.5, almost 3 weeks since I've used the glue. So yeah, not bad. Look at that. It's coming out. So that little tulip closure works pretty good, better than the pin I had in it before. So, all right, so glue on the front. Okay, I'm going to center this. It's about 1/2 inch top and bottom, and then not quite that much on the left. Maybe it's 3/4 of an inch. I don't know. I got some oozing here. I'm just going to line that up, and I want to get that down really good. I'm going to flip it over and use my bone folder. Okay, this paper is a little bit textured, so that's what you're hearing. I'm not worried too much about the seepage because we're going to take care of that. Because we are going to wrap these covers. Okay. Guess I really need to pay attention to whether I'm in frame or not. The camera, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like the camera is getting pushed back. And, alright, let's see. This one I want to line up with this side. Okay, so these pieces are lining up with this spine area. Okay, and I'm going to flip this over and burnish. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come along here and trim these corners. She folded this in and then over, but I'm hesitant to do that because this is a thicker paper, and I think I'm just going to cut the corners. I did leave about 1/8 of an inch, which is probably way more than I need because I think this is probably, even this one is only about 1/16 of an inch. Or, I don't know, 1 millimeter. Okay, but I'd rather have a little bit there than not. Okay, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to go around the edge like this. Oops. Okay. Just to give it an idea of where it's going. You've seen me do this before. I'll do this one now. Got some glue. I am going to do the top and the bottom first. Okay, so back cover. We are going to do the top. Okay, come over. I'm going to burnish on the edge, and then I'm going to burnish this really well till it sticks. Nice. Okay, come down here, do the same thing. Coming along the edge of that chipboard. And if you're using a medium weight chipboard, you know, yours is going to be a little thicker than mine, but that's okay. That'll work just fine. Okay, now what we have right here is that 1/4 of an inch I left, and we don't want this to be an ugly corner, so we're going to burnish this little piece down. I learned this trick from oh, I'm totally blank. Kathy King. Oh my goodness. Paper Phenomenon. Okay, I never would have thought of this before, but we just take the edge here and just push this down right in there. And then what that does is it flattens that out so that it allows this piece to lift up nicely. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but I went and pushed it down under this lip there. Okay. Alright, got little crummies in there. Now we're just going to come along here. Just slowly telling that where to go. And then when you get that over, that will make a nicer corner, especially since this is kind of a heavier cardstock. I'm going to let that kind of pop up for a second. Some of that acetone can dissipate, and push it down. then that should stay a little bit better. Now you could add corners. I don't know where my corners are at the moment. I found everything else except the corners. So, wait, is this them? Nope, clips. Oh, I've been trying to get all the metal together so that it can be in one place and I can find it when I need to. And I got a really cool buy today, guys. Those photo bins that have the smaller 4x6 little plastic containers inside. I think there's like 16 of them. I've been wanting one of those, and they're like $40, and I just can't justify it. But I think it would be really good for all my vellum stickers and stuff. And I was at Dee Dee's today. I had to go get lab work done, and I was a little early, so I ran over to Dee Dee's Discounts to see what they had in their house, and they had one of those, just one. If they'd had two, I would have probably bought both of them, but just the one, and I'm going to put my vellum stickers and tabs and things like that in there, I think. And that'll make that easier to spot. And I'll go ahead and label them because I have finally got a new label maker. Well, I bought it for my husband for Christmas. And then he goes, "You bought it for me or you bought it for you?" I said, for us. He uses it on his CDs and stuff. And I was using it to label some of my containers, but they're fabric and it doesn't want to stick. So, alright. That looks good. Let's do this side. Whoops. Looks like a big old glop of glue on the outside I'm going to have to fix. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Alright. You just get that going and let it pop up. I don't know, just that few seconds. It gets super tacky and then get it to stay down. Good job. Okay. So, push that down. I think I'm going to use this side. There we go. Okay. I may fast forward some of this because a lot of it's going to be repetitive. So I hope you guys are all doing well. We had a good vacation. It was a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of family we haven't seen in about 5 years. So, and some probably even before that. So it was a good time. Wedding was beautiful. Bride and groom. He wrote a song for her. She sang a song for him, and it was so. Yeah, I was blubbering through the whole thing. It was cool. Being in the bridal party, it's you've got rehearsal and all that stuff. You don't always have those emotions, but at the last second, it always gets me. All right, inside front, inside back. All right, so I'm going to flip this whole thing over like this. All right, so we are going to put this, and I think I decided I want the not so white side to be up. Now, there was a little string here, and I don't know if you can see it. I cut this on my paper cutter. Probably should not have. Probably should have made a line and cut it with scissors. But there was a little string hanging off, so I pulled it, and you can see it tried to unravel the fabric, but the paint coating or gesso or whatever's on it that allows it to go through the printer, it just kind of poked holes. I don't think it's going to matter because we're going to put trim over it. See, that's the fixer upper piece. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to make a mark. Let's see, how am I want to do this way. 1¼ inch. Okay, so this ruler is 1½ inch, so I just need to come right there. I think I want to come on the inside of that line though, that way my pencil line doesn't show. And I'm just going to lightly pencil. Now I am penciling on the side that we did not wrap, okay? Because that is where the spine is going to be. Okay, and like I said, I'm just doing it lightly. I'm not doing a heavy duty. And we are going to glue. I guess I'll start on this side. This is the front, yes. So I want the good edge to be on the front. So I'm going to turn it this way again and glue that on. Lining it up on that line. Boy, people are coming and going today. Put a line of glue right on this edge. Not on it, but up to it there. Come down this way. The reason I'm putting the glue here is because I know where it ends. If I put it on the canvas, I might put it in an area I don't need it to be on. So there we go. Coming up here. I'm going to kind of center this. It's going to wrap around a little bit. I'm going to come right up to that pencil line. Like that. Let that sit for a second. Catch. Okay. Now it's going to be attached to this one. So I'm going to turn this around and apply glue to this piece. Don't let me forget to put these loops on before I put that inside cover. Because I will do it. Okay. That should be enough, and I'm going to line this one up. Now I need to line these up so that they're straight. And that's right on that line there. Okay, now really quickly I'm going to get my ruler here because I can see this is not straight. And I am going to push this up like that. Same on the bottom, so we're good. All right. So now we're going to wrap this over. I'm only putting glue here, not in the spine. Okay. This is all going to be covered, so I'm not concerned. That may pop up again. Didn't get it exactly centered. There's about an inch on this side and about an inch and a little more than an inch and a quarter on that side, so. But that's okay. We'll make it work. Flip this one over. I do want to get that in there so it attaches to itself. Making sure this is rubbed down good. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see where I did not get exactly on that line, but that's okay. I think we did good, and we're not going to be too far off the mark. Okay. All right, so now this is where we want to put in our pieces for the front. So I don't think this looks too crooked. I think we did pretty good. Just going to double check that. 1/4 of an inch, slightly, so I can compensate for that here and line it up like that. And then I'm going to wrap it over. So I'm just going to put a line of glue on both sides, one on the canvas, one on the paper. Come on. I stood it up instead of laying it down. All right. Do the paper here first. And we'll do this. I can always come back and add more if I need to. I'm gonna rub my finger down there real quick. All right, so I've got this lined up, and I'm gonna kind of split the difference here and use this line on my desk as a reference point. The lace is a little curved. You know what? Let's use this, and then I won't be all sticky. That's what I have it for. All right, now we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to line that up. Pretty straight. And do the same thing, and this will cover up that pencil mark. It also is going to cover up that edge where I tore it funky. Well, where I pulled the, whatever it is called, out. The string. Alright, right. I moved my book, so let's fix that back. There and there. I think we did okay on this. This was a little scrunched up, but I think it'll be fine. This is on the back cover, so not too bad. Okay. So now we are going to flip this over, and we are going to glue this down. You could just trim it off if you like. There we go. Like I said, we're going to put that piece of paper over the top. We'll do this one. There we go. All right, now I need my 3-inch pieces. Where'd they go? There they are. All right, so I'm going to measure a mark. That's how I think I'll do it. I will measure a mark. All right, so this is 8.5, so half of 8.5 is going to be 4 1/4, and I'm going to make a center mark. And then I'm going to make 1/8 of an inch on either side, and that is where I'm going to line up that other piece of lace. Now that other piece of lace does not have an edge, and it's missing two. Oh, it's these. Yeah, it doesn't have an edge. They're both woven. So this is going to be here, and then this one will be here, but on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that around and repeat. Okay, so 4 1/4, 4 1/4, mark center. Okay, so This is the back, and I think I want the bottom one on the back. So where's the pin? I want to make sure I have enough room here so that it's not going to be too tight. And I think if I line it up with where my line is and just glue that down, that will be fine. And then this one will be here. And I haven't folded that yet, but and it'll go through there like that. So I'm going to kind of measure that and then give it an extra. That comes out right there, and that ends up being a 1/2 inch. So I think I will do 5/8. Okay, so let's get a little bit down here. I think these would be a lot of fun to do a, you know, a bunch of them at once. So a little bit of a mass make. All right, so I want to leave a little bit more, so like that. Okay, I'm only gluing here. And then I think I'm going to put some clips on this so it gets nice and attached and flat. Oops. There we go. Make sure that my pen can still fit in there. Yes. Okay. So let's clip that down. All right, now let's do the other side. And this one is also, because I'm turned it all the way around, I'll be doing it on the bottom the same way. So cool. All right. All right, there again, I want about 5/8 left over. Yeah. Okay. I wish I had one of those that was flatter. Well, I do. I wish I had it handy. Let's put it that way. All right. Not really worried about that glue seepage because that's going to all be covered up. Okay, speaking of that, we want to measure this now. So this is 11 3/8. So I am going to trim my paper down to it's 1 2 3/8. Yeah, so I'm going to trim it down to 11 1/8. I'll set this aside to dry for a second. And that is this piece that I left at 12 inches. So 11 1/8. This, I got a new cutter because it was on clearance or something, and it is really stiff, but it cuts okay. So I'm just not used to it being, the other one's, you know, 22 years old, and I put in giant letters chipboard only on that one. So all right, so this should be the right size now to bring this back and glue. I'll just dry fit. See, that looks good. It's going to be just right. All right. All right, so I'm going to put the glue on this paper. And then I'll take those clips off. Go ahead and give them that extra time. And I'll probably clip them back down as well. Could have used some, now that I'm thinking this through, you could use some Tyvek strips and cover them with washi. That would look really cool for the loops, on both sides, of course, because you can see. Yeah, that would be cool. The Tyvek will make it extra sturdy so that you could use even paper strips. I've done that before, and the Tyvek just makes it not even feel like paper anymore. It's weird. All right. Let's take this and get our book the right way around. And center as well as we can. Here we go. Now I think this is going to need some extra time and some weight to dry, so I will come back when this is dry and we'll carry on. Okay, I'm back. All right, so I folded this up. Now, carefully do this, okay? I'm coming along the edge of that cardstock. If I was going to do this again, I might make it a little bit wider, maybe 3/4 of an inch instead of a 1/2 inch. Only because I feel like this is an awful skinny spine for this notebook. But you do have the closure on it, so I'm just kind of pushing down on the edge of that chipboard, and then it's going to give me and a part of that is because this is thicker canvas too. If you're using a thinner fabric or paper, you know, you might have a wider border there. So let's see if I can. There we go. That's a little better. All right, so this is the back, this is the front. Not that it matters. You can change your mind when the pattern is everywhere. Okay, so I have taken a little piece of extra trim and just put it on this triangle pocket. So you can make gussets for these pockets. I don't like gussets, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people say, well, I can't get anything out of the pocket. I'm not going to stick anything in the pocket that I can't get out of the pocket, and I don't like stuff to fall out of my pockets, so I don't use the gussets because then everything falls out. So it's just a matter of what you like. If you want to put thicker things in there, go ahead and use a gusset. I am going to line this up right on the edge, like so. Okay. So there's my pocket. You know, what I'm going to stick in here is probably paper folded in half. So, you know, it's not going to be anything that I can't retrieve. I'm not going to put small tickets and things. But if you need to be able to get into your pocket to retrieve small things, put a gusset. It will help. Okay, so now we have taken this piece that's 4x8, and I just slid it in the back here like this, and I kind of just lined it up with the edge of the paper pad, and then wrapped these around it, and it comes out to about, on the back side, about 1 inch and about 1 inch, 1/8 of an inch on the side. So it comes out to about 1 inch and 3/8 around the back. So we want to leave that there. I'm going to line that up, and then I'm going to put glue here. This is going to help us place these on our page so that it can slide, a refill can slide in and out. So I'm going to come up here like this and put enough glue on these. Come around I don't want to glue it to the pad. I just want glue on the paper. So let me get that off. And then I'm going to carefully pick it up without getting glue all over myself. Let's see how we do this. And I'm going to place it down right. I'm going to have to stand up so I can see. I want to have it about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And I can kind of slide it. Not too much because it'll come right out. But get that down like that, and then I'm going to take the paper pad out. And I'm going to use the bone folder to get in here. Well, actually, I'm just going to press it down like this, because I've got kind of a I don't know if you can see that or not, but it does have kind of a round loop on the side. It doesn't need a thick piece there because the back of these pads is pretty thin. So I just want to make sure there's glue here, but I'm not pressing it down on the edge. Okay, so there we go. We'll put our paper pad back. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to decorate our paper pad. So let's set that aside to dry for a second while we do this paper pad. Okay, so this, I'm rubbing this off for a reason. This is tape, like fabric tape, like bookbinding tape. This is slick. So I'm going to just come in here and get a little bit of tooth on there, because I want that to adhere and not peel up. So anytime you see anything that's kind of shiny, you want to do that. You'll just give your and then I'm going to have to take off that first page, but this is all taped, so we're good. All right, so now we'll come along here with the glue, and like I said, I'll just take off that first page and everything will be good. This is taking me a longer time to make because this is the first time that I've made it. But if you were assembly lining these, it wouldn't take any time at all. So I'm going to glue this to the front and the back, but not the top. Just kind of gives it a little rounded edge. I'm going to come right along there, and I am going to add some lace trim on that edge. So fold that over. You could glue that. It doesn't really, you don't need not to glue it, but I just don't see any point. I guess it doesn't matter. Once it's all good and on there, it's all going to be glued. Because the paper tears out from the bottom, it doesn't lift up. So that's why you want this kind instead of the kind that are just glued at the top. The stapled pads are going to work better on this. All right, so get that excess glue off that's on the paper, this paper, the decorator paper. All right, and then I'm going to take this off. So we have a nice clean sheet, and I'm going to add just a little bit. Or do I want it at the top? Let me think about this. I think I'll do it at the top. That way I don't have to worry about it. Okay. just like that. Then we can trim up those edges. I think this one's good. All right. Not too much. I mean, you know, you can dress it up as fancy as you want. And then we will just take this and pop it back in here. Like so. Doesn't that look cute? And then we'll close this. And we will get our pin and loop it. So goes through the top. And I know it goes through there. It's just I'm at a weird angle. So goes through the top and goes through the bottom, and there we go. Once you get it in the first one, the second one goes. So there you have it. I think that turned out really cute. I like it. And there's the back. So yeah. So I hope you like that. I might be making a few of those, and if I can find, I know I have Christmas paper, but I don't know what I'm going to do for all of my Christmas paper. So we do have a few more fun things coming up. I'll see you on Saturday. Bye now. Thanks for watching.